In this video I'm showing off the Parrot Anafi's filming styles and resolutions, and I'm going to be giving demonstrations of each one of these. I make videos of everything to do with photography. I go out, I'm a landscape photographer, and I have different tools to use for that different photography. I use drones, I use filming equipment, I use cameras. My videos on YouTube demonstrate all these different capabilities. I wanted to find a good filming location for these tests, so that at least it's something interesting that you can to see while it's actually filming. So I've come to an old World War II bunker just on the outskirts of Derry, near the Irish border. It was used to protect Derry during World War II. So it gives an interesting subject for all the test videos that I'm doing. I've utilized the geo mapping feature of the Parrot Anafi, so that every single video I've taken with all the different features or filming features, it's the exact same video. So it basically repeats the same loop over and over again. So I've tried to get to the same benchmark testing for each video, so that they're almost the same to compare to. At the end of this, I'll let you know what video settings I normally use when I'm filming and the reasons for that. So stay tuned to the end so you can have a look at that. This is a list of all the sample video footage for each Parrot Anafi style and some of the different recording quality. The corresponding times that they appear in this YouTube video are detailed to the right, and I've also listed them in the information section below. This will allow you to fast forward to a specific sample footage you want to see. The natural style is the default for the Anafi. It tries to capture the natural tones and colors that we see with our own eyes. Filming in 24 frames a second rather than 30 frames a second gives a more cinematic feel to your footage. With 24 frames a second, the space between each one of the single frames is less, and it sort of blurs the image in between each frame. This, to our human eye, it sort of blurs it a little bit and it looks more natural. Where 30 frames a second, sometimes it can look a bit jittery. Now 30 frames a second is much better when you want to slow down the image for slow motion capture, but 24 frames just looks a little bit better, and this is what most cinematic films are filmed under, 24 frames a second. HDR, or high dynamic range, can be used in any of the standard video modes, including 4K, 2.7K, and 1080p. HDR helps with high contrast footage. It helps to bring out details and shadows that would normally be black with no detail at all. I find it useful for taking sort of sunset pictures to bring out the detail in the clouds. The P-log style makes footage a little less contrasted. It's ideal for videos you want to edit and process using professional grade tools and filters. The intense style makes images more saturated and contrasted. The pastel style makes images less saturated, but it brings out their warmest tones. So those are all the examples of the different filming styles that you can do in the Parrot Anafi. When I was doing research and trying to find certain drones that I wanted to go for, I was looking for these type of videos so that I can compare the video footage of each one of the drones to see which one was going to be the best. It also may help you even if you have the drone right now so that you don't have to go out and run these tests yourself. So hopefully it helps you. So the settings I use for the Parrot Anafi for the video, 90% of the time would be the natural 4K 30 frames a second. The natural filming style, the color correction seems to be pretty good, so basically that saves me some post-editing time. I film in 4K and 30 frames a second just so that if I want to slow down the film with the 30 frames a second, I've got really good quality for slowing it down. And 4K, the reason for that is I always get the best quality. I can always downgrade that if I need to. It does take up a lot of space and storage, but it's worth it. Occasionally I'll actually use the HDR feature, especially if it's getting dark and I want to bring out the sky, the clouds in the sky. I'll use the HDR feature. Occasionally I also use the P-log just so that I can play around with editing myself in the post editing process. But most of the time I use the natural 4K 30 frames a second. It just suits me. It may not suit you. If it doesn't, if you use a different filming feature, please let me know in the comments. I'd be really curious to see what you use and why you use that. And it might actually benefit other people that watch this video. I did another video of the Parrot Anafi review of having it just for 2 months. I give some tips of different things that I've learned and a couple things that I bought that didn't actually help. So I'll give a link above. If you click on that, you can have a look at that. That might help you as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and click the bell button so you don't miss any of the next videos that I create. All my videos are about photography, landscape photography, and the different equipment that I use for that. I do demonstration videos, for instance this one here. Hopefully this helped you. Until next time, I will see you later.